Welcome everybody to Five Points Art Gallery Studios. We're going to start the artist talk really quickly. This is it's an opening reception for the solo show for Claudia Maysen, which is the side we're on right now for Playthings. And then on the other side, we're going to walk to the other side and introduce the two artists that can make it, but it's a four-person show on the other side called Assembled, which is a play on assemblage, but everything is not assemblage, but it's very construction-based work rooted in that practice. But we're going to start on this side since most people are on this side right now and highlight our two-week resident artist, Claudia Maysen from Texas. So welcome. And then what is Playthings? Get us started with what's behind the title Playthings.
Well, first of all, thank you. I've been, as you said, 2 weeks resident here, and I've been very happy and thankful for you being such an amazing host, curator, inspiring fellow artist, and thank you everybody for coming here. Playthings, it's double or triple meaning because how it's my reflection of how we are treated sometimes as playthings by systems that don't take into consideration our rights, our feelings, our human basic needs, such as safety, such as mental health or health overall, and also how these games are being constructed by systems of power, society, economical systems as well, of course. So it's games and that being forced upon us, and also the dehumanization of people when they are treated as toys or just disposable objects.
Okay, and I usually say this in the beginning, we're not like a lecture series. People still might wait to the end, but if you have questions for the artist from walking around, this is your opportunity to talk to them directly. You don't have to wait to the end. If I'm missing you, raise your hand or just kind of shout out your question. It's supposed to be conversational, more relaxed, less formal, even though we want you to have as impactful and formal experience as you can. And so we met last year.
Yeah.
And so we started curating this concept last year, and now it's been into fruition. But what are some of the newer pieces that are a part of this show? Or you can explain the different facets, because you have some paintings.
Yeah.
You have some little Jenga games.
Yes.
And you have some installation work, so maybe people have questions about that. You can explain even the runner.
Of course, yes. We can start with the piece that we met, through which we met last year in Chicago. That was that piece actually over there. Bought this for you, if you remember. So that was at a group show over there. And it's called I Bought This For You, and it's a bouquet of flowers, but it's really, those are drawings, prints of drawings that I made representing the bullets used in mass shootings, used for ammunition for AR-15 rifles that are available in Texas, as in many states. Texas, where I live, as in many states, are very easy to get, even online, even at first, legally, even unfortunately for people with mental issues. And these bullets, inspire me to keep researching and do these works, using the analogy of the bullets with the flowers, how easy it is to get them, how easy it is to find them in stores, in homes, and that ties with those still life paintings that you later saw as well. And the Jenga pieces too, as I was thinking about how easy it is to find this ammunition and guns in our communities. I found, the root is because also they are part of a toxic belief system that is passed down through generations, and that's what inspired me to put them in these vintage frames, to give them an heirloom status, as if something that is passed from one generation to another, because unfortunately these toxic beliefs, they are very strong in many homes, and just as the popular still life genre, you can find them in many residences. So thinking about that, thinking about why we got there, why we got to normalizing having these weapons designed for war, like the AR-15 that was used this week again, and has been used again. How we come to this point when we have normalized this, and it got me thinking of the systems that enable this normalization, this ridiculous sense of how it can be safe to have a gun that can shoot that many bullets, that expands, that was engineered to expand like a flower, to make the most harm when on impact, because it could have been designed another way, but it was designed for war for that. Actually, in many countries, they are not even allowed in war because how inhuman experience, how inhuman it is even to enemy troops. And it's ridiculous that we have them in the streets, in the homes.
And ironically, in the schools that, you know, we are training kids now because of the accessibility and then the false narrative that the bullets never end and you can shoot and point any which way, and it is a game. Yes. That doesn't have repercussions. But was it yesterday or the day before, we had another mass shooting in a high school in Georgia.
Yeah. Yes, it's.
And it was the same.
It was the same kind of weapon that you see there. I mean, kind of bullets, ammo that you see. Not the weapon. I just focus on the ammunition for this body of work. But it evolved. It started with that one, and that's what, which is still happening. And then it got me thinking about gun violence overall, not just that, and the systems that enable that. And that's how I created the Jenga pieces, because I found it very interesting how the rules of the Jenga work compared to the rules of gun control, how you can stack and remove pieces one by one. It feels like a game. One comes, one goes, and they remove and they add pieces to the laws, to the systems that control this structure. And at the end, if you think about it, it's just like Jenga is a game that is not about winning, but about who loses first. And also the commercialization, how tied it is to the economy and the structures of power because of the amount of money that is surrounding this industry. And I use these bags to also reflect on the commercialization of how this is part of the whole gun violence problem.
Any questions for anybody yet?
I was wondering your reflections on the bullet shortage during Obama's 8-year administration, and the real, I guess the real symbolism of bullets in relationship to that revelation that you couldn't get bullets. Actually, you couldn't even get CO2 cartridges. It was bad.
Oh.
Nothing to shoot.
I wasn't aware about that, but if you would like to tell us more about it, we can just express our views.
It said that he wanted to change gun regulations, so people went on a buying spree.
Oh.
To the point where they bought all the bullets off the shelves, and wholesalers and then you couldn't buy bullets couldn't get it. It was non-available unless you already had them from manufacturers during Obama, the first administration, and then even the second, it teetered. But I'm saying I remember when you couldn't even get a CO2 cartridge. Only thing that looked like a BB gun, which usually CO2 cartridge, BB gun, but as a contractor, you use CO2 cartridge. But finishing them, they have to go way, way out till you can get CO2 cartridge because there was no bullets. Now there was guns, but there was no bullets, and the gun was useless without a bullet. And it just I actually enjoy your exhibit because the bullet is considered the great equalizer. And looking at people like the great Dr. Francis Cress Wilson, who talks about the bullet being symbolic of the sperm and the fertility that Europeans have a drop in population. And so the bullets are used as symbolic sperm to get rid of the competition, so that sperm.
Yeah, well, there is a lot of symbolism. Well, there is a lot of symbolism in guns. I agree. It's very tied to the male figure, and it's. I didn't know about reproductive. I know about violence and aggression, but well, it might be. I didn't know about the shortage that you are mentioning, and I know that right now there isn't. At the contrary, there is an abundance and excess, and to the point that I have heard ridiculous news saying that even vending machines are on the way, vending machines, so you can get guns at the convenience of a grocery store without even having to check out through the cashier. So I think that yeah, it's not just an extreme. If you are asking me that we shall remove all the bullets or not, I think control and responsibility is the first step. Just realizing, okay, is this really for safety, or is this for attacking, or in which hands are they placing? What are the background checks that have been taken in place? It's not about removing the freedom of defense people, but also protecting us, because I don't think the state we are at right now is protecting anybody, but the systems that are just getting richer and richer from our chaos.
So this is an interactive installation or exhibition, and you have a lot of multimedia works in here, including like a video reel. Do you want to explain some of the more abstract concepts along with your figurative work?
Sure. Well, in the more abstract concepts are a response to all these chaos that we were mentioning, and the grievance and that one can feel in our communities each time something like this happens. And for those who have it been unfortunately closer, as a friend or a family member, it's a grief that doesn't go away. It's constant. So I created my own games. That's actually the title of this piece, for example. The front is this side, if you want to see it shiny. And more abstract pieces are like that one. A little bit of those. You can still tell there is flowers and those as well, but it's trying to break away from the pain that this whole issue causes, and how we have to create our own realities and coping mechanisms.
Have you ever gotten, I hope this is not too difficult, any pushback with people saying you're making it look too fun, and they're missing the point?
Yes. Well, not with that. I have had people well, but if there is one and they haven't told me, I can say, well, I am originally from Mexico, so I think it's part of my culture to sometimes see things with a little bit of humor, like Dia de los Muertos, for example, is a whole celebration around that. And in this way, I wanted to bring my feminine Mexican-American point of view to an issue that affects me deeply, and I know affects the society as well. And I think that if it makes people uncomfortable, or if it makes people question why is she having fun or smiling, great. Because it's taking them out of the numbness, and we have to get out of the numbness to react, to advocate, and to change these ridiculous realities.
How often, and just so you know, it's interactive, like you can play the Jenga game. I lost earlier.
And I didn't respond to that, yeah, sorry. So, again, thinking about the systems, the mental health that we have to create ourselves, got me thinking, well, even farther away. It seems like with my research or my exploring, the more I advanced, the more further away I went. And from one bullet to the overall gun violence, from homes to the systems, and here realizing that how this issue affects mostly communities that are people of color, communities that are historically marginalized, make me thinking about these games that are created by power systems and in which are removed of, it's going to start right there. So it's sort of a way of presenting beings, or beings, colorful, different, unique, as being treated, as the video runs, being suddenly put in a context that they didn't choose, that they were put in.
So like manipulated pawns.
Exactly, manipulated pawns in a game that removes them from their essence and just labels them. And obviously race is part of it, playing white against black, people of color usually the one losing in these kind of games. So yeah, it's thinking about that, and then I brought it to life-size experience. I wanted to create this runner. It has a message if you read it from that from the front to the back, but you also can create your own messages or games by interchanging words or going by the colors, or just playing and jumping on it if you want. And it leads us to this table, which is interactive, as Fatima was saying, and you are all welcome to play. And in my point of view as an artist, and this is my artwork, I really enjoy you stepping on this, you playing there, feeling that experience of, am I a piece of a bigger game, or do I have control? Are we free to play? Who makes these games? Who makes the systems? How we can change it? So it's an invitation to question, to play. It's okay to laugh. It's a serious theme, I understand that, and I have a lot of respect for that. But I think sometimes the hard realities need to be taken to settings where they are exposed, even if people think it's not okay, if it's fun or cute, it should be dramatic or not. For me, it's a way of enabling conversations and have control and to create our own futures.
Yeah. I have work that's considered more serious, some social stuff, and it's imbued with like humor and sarcasm to break down like, oh, and they get close and they touch, and then they're like, oh, okay, but now they are engaged and they put down their guards to like absorb the message and actually interact with the works. So one of my last questions is Jenga.
Yes.
Does Jenga know what you're doing with their pieces, and have
They haven't reached out yet. They haven't reached out yet. I posted it sometimes. I once had a mysterious follower that was like, oh, Jenga related. But they haven't reached out yet. So I will think that they are allies. Maybe whoever noticed said, okay. Okay. And I think it's public domain, so it works. It works.
All right, does anyone have any questions, comments for the artist? Does anyone want to come walk on the runner and not be afraid?
Oh, a little shout out for my son and my other son who is not here, but they help providing camera, helping with, for when I was creating that concept, we were playing together to film it, to experience how it worked. With my other son, he directed the video, edited it. So it's part of the creating realities. Mm-hmm. And if you create a game or bring a book to your bring a book to your table with your friends or your family, and it helps you have these hard conversations. It's one step forward, I think, for everybody as a community trying to solve these realities. Mm-hmm.
Is the runner like the game, or is it hopscotch? Is it what's the?
You can, you can create your own rules.
I can get on and push people off.
Yeah, come try it. Come try it. Yes.
It has words.
It has words and some.
Yeah.
Is that what you're supposed to do, or what was your?
You can, you create your own game this time.
And do or not, or let them think that you are a not let them think that you are a
I definitely wanted to hopscotch on it.
Go ahead, yeah.
Any questions for Claudia before we shift to the other side? No? Well, don't be shy.
So that one, I was drawn into that because it's flowers and I like nature, and I thought of nature, it sees everything. So I wanted to know a little bit more about that one.
Thank you. Well, yes, it's faces and flowers, as you mentioned. It's called Classroom. It is it's the victims that, all the victims, but this really touches my heart, knowing that this is happening to kids constantly. Well, not constantly, but again and again. And these are these faces that I merge with the bullet flower as on impact. Are, if you notice, pink neon-hued, because I wanted to accentuate how, the artificial feel as if they were dolls, as if they weren't human, because it's what's happening when we don't protect the children, and protect guns and bullets instead. We dehumanize them and we treat them like toys, like disposable objects. So that's why I use this artificial hue to emphasize that not respecting their human nature, and just painfully not understanding what's happening around them and all the chaos. I did use colors that are pleasing and maybe a style that is a little bit of pop color, because it is also a way for me to say, you think this issue shouldn't be treated this way, or with these colors, or with this style. Well, this issue is affecting kids that shouldn't be put in those situations either. So it's a contrast of these very hard realities that are put onto innocent lives that should be carefree and happy and just enjoying life.
And then they kind of lead to the installation of pile of individual Jenga bullets.
Yes.
Below.
Yeah.
You said to be resembling of like school children scattered, like stacking the toys themselves, but like it's just scattered.
Yeah. Unfortunately, yes, it is. It is like that. That's not. If I wanted to represent reality, I would have used, for example, in Uvalde, I know those numbers by heart, it was 315 bullets that were found in the school, with only one person doing that. So this is just a small representation of the huge amount of bullets, that the kind of weapons that are being allowed to go to schools or malls or movie theaters or grocery stores are happening. So yeah, just scatter like that. Yeah, it's called found in classroom, and unfortunately, it is.
And those are individual Jenga, so you can buy individual pieces, if not a sculpture or what have you. Yeah? Any more questions? All right, one last note, it's like a one-off. Claudia has some, she touches on things social too, but she has some sculptures that are related to like banning of books and censoring of education, for children too, but in the general academic sense. They're in the gift shop, and today's the last day to get those. But do you want to talk a little bit about those as well, and then we'll shift to the other side?
Sure. There are a couple of books over there, and one little sculpture with a stack of books a little on the left. Well, those all were inspired by. It started with book banning, and it's a movement that was surprisingly growing in 2022, is still going on in 2023 and this year, that had many books that, especially books that reflect people of color voices or LGBTQ communities voices. And I'm sorry, but these different voices, they are shooting them down. And that one, for example, is inspired in The Bluest Eye by Toni Morrison, a beautiful book. It has parts that maybe they say they are too strong, but it's appropriate for high school, but they are banning it even for high school. And it's it's a book from the 70s, so it's ridiculous how this year, this century, they are just going a step backwards with this kind of banning. The other one is by Ashley Hope Perez. It's called Out of Darkness, and it's a book about the Latina and Black Latinx and Black communities under a tragedy, trying to come together, and it's also banned. And The other one is how many books might not be banned, but there is omission, and it's omission in books as well. Not just the ones that are written, many of them are being banned, and the ones that are in history are keeping going on with omissions towards people of color. So that one is called U.S. History Without Us, for the omission of all the people of color omitted in our history.
So it's like erasure. So you disempowering people by giving them the way that they can be empowered through knowledge, but then have these bullets like, okay, we can control you this way and kill each other this way, but we're making this accessible, even though it doesn't do anything for the greater population. But a book that does not kill if you throw it, it's dangerous. They ban. And so, so those are available today. And now we're gonna transition. This is my tie. So there's a lot of stacking and construction in this show. We're gonna see how that is executed in the next room with the group show assembled. We have two artists here, Frank D. Robinson from Memphis, Tennessee, and Rhonda Gray from Chicago, Illinois, are two of the four artists present today who are gonna do a talk about their works. And so if you wanna transition over there, we can talk to them. Thank you. All right, thank everyone for transitioning to the assembled side. Again, this is a group show, four-person show based on, loosely on assemblage, so you will actually see some assemblage, but it was more about integrating different construction practices. And so, in a lot of layering and stacking of different materials, a lot of it is found in a new way, a nuanced way of rebirthing things or giving things a new story in life. And so, again, I want to welcome Rhonda Gray for coming from Chicago.
Thank you.
And then Frank Z from coming from Memphis. And yeah, you can tell us about yourselves, and we'll just get into your works. But again, you don't have to wait and let me moderate. You can ask questions. Don't be shy. Okay. So, yeah.
Hi, everyone. Good evening. Thank you so much for having me, Fatima. I appreciate you so much. And it's a joy to be here. Coming from Bronzeville, south side of Chicago. I was born and raised in Waukegan, not, about an hour away from here. But I've been on the south side of Chicago for the past 20 years, so it's kind of like my newer home. It's my old school home where I was born. So this is really great to be here in Milwaukee tonight. I've been a practicing artist for 20 years, and I don't want to go into too much detail, but I'm a mixed media artist. I primarily do oil and acrylic paintings I love mixed media paintings and mixed media sculptures. And just go right into my work that's here.
I'm gonna introduce Frank, and then we'll go into your work, if that doesn't break up everyone too much.
One last thing I just wanted to say too, and you probably see this in my work, but I also teach college history at Roosevelt University, National Louis University. I've been teaching for past 20 years and past 15 years at the collegiate level. So my passion for history also comes through, and I always think of myself as a crazy art lady because I also do dance. That's how I met. I dance professionally with Ayodele, African drum and dance for 10 years. And so I'm just I sing as well, jazz vocalist. So I'm a crazy art lady who wants to be free. And so I think some of that energy comes through in some of my artwork as well. So.
Are you a self-taught artist, or you went to school?
Primarily self-taught. But I did take a master class with a Chicago artist by the name of Gerald Griffin some years ago, and that's where I really started developing my portraiture.
Okay. Frank, talk to us. Let the people know about you.
Frank D. Robinson Jr. Went to Whitehaven in Memphis, Tennessee. I went to the University of Memphis. From there, I went to the Art Institute in Chicago. and blossomed there. Graduated in 2000. Migrated back to Memphis. My work has always done with diabetes. My dad had diabetes. My aunt had diabetes. So that means I have diabetes, as you can see. All my work has diabetes strips in it. Some of it's small, some of it's large. I've done over 10,000 pieces. 10,000 pieces. It's really not about the art pieces. It's really about me. It's really about me being here, still being here. I got a lot of struggles with my works. Good, bad, happy, sad. But I want to be free too. It's fun. You know, it's fun just to be an artist. I mean, we can sit and talk and create. Right now, I'm going through, I don't know if people go through assemblages, but I'm going through a little freedom period. So it's all good.
So he's saying he does more than this. And I'm glad y'all are able to connect. The benefit of group shows is if it happens so artists can connect with each other and share networks and different resources. And even doing 2 shows at one time, you know, is allowing people to create a community that's broader than their immediate community and their station. So that's the value of this show. And I've said this before, but some people are new to the space. When I do my group shows, there might be a common thread, but I want to show distinction in style so that people understand and appreciate diversity in its truest form and are not stuck to what is taught as a rule of how you can approach art or a practice, especially with this construction. Like you will see Ron, and I'll let her explain more too about hers, but she has 2 different styles. I really wanted to focus on the sculptural aspects and elements with like the assemblage and construction, as well as her 2D format. The other formats are more 2D, but you might see with Dreek, who's not here. He's a Monroe, Louisiana-based artist, how he repurposed chairs and spindles and everything from that. So it's almost relief style. So it has a sculpture base. And then like Frank said, you can see his is might be considered more traditional assemblage, but then you have to talk to the artist to know that there are diabetes strips in every single thing that is not known unless you know the artist, unless you can hear them speak. So again, don't be shy about asking questions to the artist. But I do have a question for you, Frank. Now knowing that there are diabetes strips, I don't know if it's common in Memphis, but it is here. You'll see on the street signs, we'll pay cash for diabetes strips.
Yeah.
Do you know anything about that? And can you explain it? If you do, no pressure.
Yeah, I mean, people, it's a cash crop. Diabetes is big money. If you got diabetes, you know this. So, you can, I don't know how much they're paying for these diabetes strips. It might be a lot, it might not be a lot, but if you buy my work, then you paying for the, you paying for the.
What you paying an artist, a real community person?
You paying artists like now. Like I go to, I mean, you could pay for the trips, but I go to diabetes every 3 days a week. I came here because of diabetes, believe it or not. But it's all good. It's all living. I sit in the chair 3 days a week. And of course my mother didn't want me to come. But I said, hey, I'm going. I'm representing my work. My work gonna be here with 10,000 pieces. My work gonna be here a long time. Believe it or not. I have a friend who lives in Chicago now. I introduced her to my work, introduced her to my artwork. So now she's collecting my work. I don't have a conventional collector like this. I don't know if you know Derek Forjour. He's a great artist from Memphis, Tennessee. A lot of people don't want to be from Memphis, but me, I was like, I want to be from Memphis. And I want to represent that legacy. And I don't know if you know George Hunt. It's wild. Nobody knows who George Hunt is, but he was the greatest artist that I ever knew. And so he died in 2018. So I carry on his legacy, and somebody will carry on my legacy. And I love it. I love it.
Rhonda, you want to tell us any secret or not so secret messages or materials that are in your works?
Secret messages,
If they're secret,
material. I would say what sticks out to me about the material that I use, just a little bit of background, is that a lot of these materials were collected from me and my mother spending time together thrifting and picking up things. That's one of our favorite things that we like to do, and I think that it represents bonding. And not only did I collect the materials with her, but she showed me how, and this was some years ago, she showed me how to work the drill. So as far as the assemblage and stuff like that goes, I do the wood cutting myself, with the top pieces and all the little accents. And she's the one who showed me how to work a jigsaw, how to work the drill, how to get the screws in, all of that. And some things is, as far as like with some of the sculptures and some of my larger sculptures, she helps me to set up the foundation and things like that. So I think it's a little known fact about my work, is my mother has a great influence in getting this work created. So I think one other last thing, I think that my work shifted a little bit. I took a trip, I went to Italy with my 8-year-old son a few months ago, and we were able, this piece right here is called Black Mary Divine. And I think my work shifted once I discovered the Black Madonna that's in Europe. And when I was in Venice, I was able to go to one of the churches and visit, one of the Black Madonna paintings. And it's just kind of, it's like, you want to say it's mesmerizing, but we know what's been going on, in this world. But it's still, when you are there and you're like, okay, this woman has black skin, and there's hundreds of these Black Madonnas throughout Europe. And just the neglect, with the cross-cultural influence of these pieces is really this doesn't make, it's just sad. And so I think that my work kind of serves as a double-edged sword in that sense, to where it's this aspect of cultural resistance and reclamation, you know, of our history and our influence across the world.
We actually did a Black Madonna show with an artist from Milwaukee.
What?
Who I told Frank. He reminds me of. He's the Memphis version of this Milwaukee artist. But yeah, we did a all-Black Madonna show. And he has some work in the gift shop I can show you later. But yeah.
Oh yeah, for sure, for sure.
I have a special. When I came in the gallery, it was like wow, and I'm connected to women. All of us come through women, whether we believe it or not. Why do men tell us what to do with our bodies? I don't understand that, but I felt a special connection.
Frank, besides the strips in your pieces, do they represent any specific people? Are they honoring people with the portraits that end up being formed through your
All
collages?
of the pieces, you know, you have blood to activate with the diabetes strip. If you don't have diabetes, don't worry about it. But if you got it, the blood from the pieces. So
these are people from your DNA,
everybody,
your spiritual too.
everybody has a spirit to go through, and
You said everybody has a spirit to go to.
yeah, everybody has blood, spirit to go to, and hopefully you will be cured. You might not be cured, but it's all good.
Any questions for the artist? Of course. Go for it.
You know, you ask. So I got a cultural thing that when it's asked, I got to that remind me of Nina Simone in back.
This one?
The whole tea. I don't know.
So this one, Big Mama Wayne Dang Doodle All Night Long Blues.
I went too off with the spirit. I didn't do that. There you go. Okay.
I do a lot of blues pieces. Blues are very important to me. I mean, my mind just goes. It just goes, and I love it. Love it.
I know y'all have some portraiture, some representational images in yourself, but with assemblage and even like collaging or abstract, I see a lot of abstraction, or at least in the approach. But how do you figure out what it's gonna be? Do you have a vision for your, and this is for both of y'all, do you have a vision already? Or you just start manipulating and playing with the work and it becomes what it's supposed to be?
I think I have a foundational idea of what I want to do and a foundational image. But as you know, I start painting it, it takes up a life of its own, and it kind of the painting kind of speaks to you. I don't know if Frank experienced this, but it's almost like, you know, the painting is guiding you, you know, as you're creating it. And so you can never, you know, I could never say, oh, this is exactly how this I want this painting, because it lets me know. Like some of the pieces, you know, I don't think I'm going to add until I think I might be finished, but then I look at it and say, no, it needs this. And it just continues until there's kind of a rest in my spirit to say, okay, this is good. It is done.
What about you, Frank?
Well,
How do you know what it's gonna be?
I never know. I just start assembling. At one point, I was working on 13 pieces at the same time, and so I just work with things. It started at the Art Institute, and a lot of people look down or whatever, but Art Institute freed me and let me go, and I hadn't been back in a while, but it was a great trip.
You trying to plug and go to Chicago tomorrow?
No.
Okay, come on.
I did my time. It was all gravy. But hopefully there's a lot more black people going to the Art Institute. I don't know if they are. I get the newsletter, but art is universal, you know. I just want to tap into it and be free.
Okay.
And thanks for team for inviting me to the show. It's been great. It's been great. I feel at home.
I gotta get you some better food than I had in Memphis, though.
It ain't all about the food, but you know.
You said what? Any questions from the audience?
I just want to give both of them, you know.
I want to thank them for their commutes because, I mean, I know it's close, but that traffic getting from Chicago to Milwaukee is no joke at a certain time. And then Frank been traveling since 3 a.m. today. He got here today, and so
3 a.m.
solo too. So yeah, I want to thank them for their investment to get their work here, be present, so that y'all can meet with them directly. Y'all don't have to stand here. You can charge them up. This is their first time in this space and in Milwaukee too, so they might be trying to look around, but this is your opportunity to debunk the mystery of what an artist is and what they think, and ask them. They are humans and they have different approaches to their work, so this is the opportunity to tap in. So I want to thank everyone for coming. We're open till 9. All the works are for sale. We do installment plans for things $200 or more. Don't be shy. I have purchased on installment. I still purchase on installment when I need some stuff. But yeah, tap into these artists. Walk around. The show is up until October 27th, so you can come back and be with the works if it's too many people here for you right now. And yeah, don't be a stranger. We appreciate everyone for coming out, and there is wine for you to partake in too. So thank you, and enjoy the rest of the evening.